This video is brought to you by REP Gaming Products. Help protect your deck and support the show by picking up a steel deck box from the link down below.
Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Brew About Nothing. So last week, during our Instant Deck Decks, it was our Modern Prison option, Goblin Prison, coming out on top. So today, we are heading to Modern to hopefully do one of my favorite things, which is play Blood Moons on turn 1, really annoy people, and then, instead of going the Planeswalker route and looking to play Ensnaring Bridges, we're trying to play a Blood Moon and then beat our opponents down with some really aggressive, potentially hasty mountain walking goblins. So, like usual, gonna do a super quick 2-minute refresher deck tech, just so you kind of know what's going on with the deck in case you forgot. If you want a full breakdown, make sure to check out the Goblin Prison Instant Deck Deck, and then we'll jump right into the games. Before that, a quick reminder, if you enjoy Much Brew and the other series here on the channel, it would be amazing of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk some Goblin Prisons, starting with our fast mana. So the idea of this deck is to play really powerful, mostly 3 mana plays, as early as turn 1, definitely by turn 2. So we start off with Simian Spirit Guide and really horrible Simian Spirit Guide in Chancellor of the Tangle, which basically add additional mana. For Chancellor, gotta only be on turn 1. Simian Spirit Guide does it anytime. If we combine that with Desperate Ritual and Pyretic Ritual, we can start casting 3 mana plays as early as turn number 1. So for our prison pieces, the 2 big ones are Chalice of the Void and also Blood Moon. If we can Blood Moon on turn 1, some decks just really can't beat that. Our opponent can't crack a fetch land to get a basic land, anything like that, just locks them out of the game. Chalice of the Void, on the other hand, can really disrupt certain decks that are relying on cheap spells. Also, locks out things like Path to Exile, Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push from killing our aggressive goblins. So our big goblin payoffs are also 3 mana. So if we have that start of a Simian Spirit Guide effect plus a Ritual, we can play them as early as turn 1, and a Goblin Rabble Master or Legion Warboss on turn 1 can be enough to just win the game, because they're making tokens every turn, growing those tokens or growing themselves, smashing in for huge chunks of damage really quickly. We also have Goblin Chieftain and Goblin King to kind of just finish things off. Chieftain sending our Rabble Masters and Warbosses in with haste. Goblin King, in conjunction with our Blood Moon, letting our goblins just swing through any number of blockers thanks to Mountain Walk. Cranko Mob Boss on the top end of our curve can make a lot of goblins. Tap it to make goblins equal to the goblins we control, which gets out of control really quickly. Goblin Crate Maker is kind of nice. Kind of just like a catch-all removal spell goblin. Can kill creatures, can get rid of annoying Ensnaring Bridges and stuff. A couple of Chandras on the top end to generate card advantage, be a removal spell. Mana base wise, Cavern of Souls to make our goblins uncounterable. Gemstone Caverns, another fast mana effect if we are on the draw. Ramen Abrew, it's a little bit of reach in the late game. In the sideboard, Trinosphere and Magus of the Moon give us some additional lock pieces. Sulfur Elemental, really good against Lingering Souls, other decks with small white creatures. A Braid, kind of a dual purpose removal spell. A couple more Goblin Lords, Leyline of the Void for decks like Dredge, and that is Goblin Prison for Modern, and that is our Much Brew deck for this week. So let's get to the gameplay, see if we can actually lock some people out of the game and beat them down with goblins. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the gameplay, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap up. Alright, Much Brew About Nothing time. We are playing some Goblin Prison in Modern, and this hand's pretty good. So let's Gemstone Cavern. Get rid of Crate Maker. I mean, we have turn 1 Chandra. Oh dear, it's Boggles. I don't know if we can beat Boggles, even with turn 1 Chandra. I guess Chalice? No Chalice. So play the land. Desperate Ritual. Exile Spirit Guide. Chandra. Take up Chandra. No to Spirit Guide. Pass the turn. Well, we'll see. We're going to need to find a Chalice like this exact turn. Bone it. Ethereal Armor. Pumps a Glade Cover Scout. Okay. Well, that's game. Goblin Prison! Why? Ugh. Turn 1 Chandra and it's not nearly good enough. Not even a little good enough. Well, I mean, I guess we won't scoop, but I don't think we definitely cannot win from here. We cannot beat a Glade Cover Scout with 5 power. Get in for 2. I mean, I guess the good news is we have a bunch of cards that should automatically win us the game. So now that we know what we're up against in game 2, turn 1 Blood Moon, Trinisphere, or Chalice should just win the game. Hyena Umbra, Spider Umbra, yeah. We don't have any ensnaring bridges or removal for this, so there's not really any point in continuing, and that was a quick one. Well, now we know what to focus on. We know what to focus on, which is Magus of the Moon's in, Trinisphere's in, Crate Maker's out. Crate Maker does kill Core Spirit Dancer. We could go down Chandra's. Let's go down a Chandra, go down a couple Crate Makers, and maybe like a couple Chieftains? I don't know which is better. Let's go down 1 Chieftain, 1 King. I mean, so we need to just take one of our lock pieces. That is how we have a chance of beating Boggles. We're on the play. All right, I mean, we'll try it. It's not turn 1, but we have turn 2 Blood Moon. Our opponent will be expecting Blood Moon, so we'll see if they're able to play around it. Boggles does not have the luxury of playing many basics, though. Leyline, that's fine. We do not really care about Leyline. Mountain, go. Well, let's see if it's fast enough, or if our opponent can win with 1 functional mana. We're hoping... Windswept Teeth. Yeah, that's not good. Chalice? War Boss. Well, let's exile Simian Spirit Guide. Play Magus of the Moon. So our opponent gets to get a basic, and we'll see. They might be able to beat us with just 1 basic land. Opponent. Mountain. Spirit Dancer. Odds increasing. Ritual. I'll play Ramadan Ruins. Play War Boss. Man. It's looking like turn 2 Blood Moon just might not be fast enough. Our opponent can still play a lot of auras and draw a lot of cards with a single mana. And we don't really have ways of dealing with this Spirit Guide. Ethereal Armor. Yup. Draws a card. Becomes huge. Plays a Mountain. Opponent passes. Well, we're definitely playing Chalice on 1. And now I guess we wait and see. Opponent can still draw cards. Well, we'll see. Pass the turn. Temple Garden. We probably got to get down this Blood Moon next turn. Opponent passes. Chancellor doesn't do much. Yeah, we're going to play Blood Moon. Path on Magus of the Moon to let our opponent fetch out a forest would be really bad for us. Next turn, we can get down this other War Boss and start actually getting in little bits of damage. Maybe this is going to be enough. Opponent. Mountain. Passes. Ooh. All right, let's keep War Bossing. Play a War Boss. Combat. Well, now we're getting in damage at least. Very slowly, but we are. Get in with the 2 Goblins. Opponent blocks, takes 1. Next turn, we could go 3rd War Boss. We could also draw our Mountain Walk Lord, although we only have 1 of them. And that would just end the game quickly. Well, I don't think we want to play Rabble Master yet. Let's just go with War Boss Tron. Yeah, I guess we attack with all the 1/1s. What if we attack with everything? Opponent blocks here. Takes 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so attack with all this. I think we get to win next turn. Unless our opponent can do something. If we just attack with everything. Man, it looks like the Chalice draw was huge. It looks like that's going to be just enough. Opponent gets to draw a card. Mountain passes. Yeah, now I think we just Rabble Master, swing with the team. It's a lot of Rabble Masters. An opponent scoops it up. All right. Hey. Well, I think Mountain Walk Lord better than our other lords. I mean, it's still basically the same plan. We're still trying to jank our opponent out. We're not going to win the fair fight against old Boggles. Maybe we can go down the Krenko. Just making more dorks. Actually, that seems good. Maybe we go down the Chandra. Let's keep Krenko. All right, same plan. I mean, stick a Lockpiece, play some Goblins. That was what our deck was trying to do. It was just good enough. I was nervous when they got the basic land, but opponent being on the play, Interesting. So this hand gives us turn 1 Legion War Boss, but we don't have any lock pieces, and I don't know if we can beat Boggles without a lock piece. Like, if they have Boggles, they still beat us? I think we got a mulligan. I don't think it's good enough. Alright, let's find a Simian Spirit Guide. We got our lock pieces. Cavern of Souls. So turn 1, nothing. I guess we keep it. I mean, we hope that this is fast enough. We can Chalice on turn 2, but on the draw, we might already be too far behind. I guess there's some argument for scrying bottom. The problem is, we only have 4 Simian Spirit Guides that let us Chalice on turn 1. Opponent. Alright, Mountain, go. Oh, come on. No Spirit Guide. No Boggle is good. Opponent. Windswept Heath. Passes. I'll play the Mountain. Definitely playing Chalice on 1. So that cuts the Boggles out. Opponent gets a Forest. If we can get Chalice on 2 as well. Ooh, opponent's got all the basics. Stony Silence, sure. Man, come on. Ritual for Chalice on 2 would be game. That's Ritual. All right. So, Ritual, put this on Goblin. Well, I think we just janked him out. Now we get to Ritual. And with Chalice on 1 and 2, I don't think our opponent can cast anything. So now we should be able to just win at our leisure. I don't think they have anything that's other mana costs. Whew. All right. Whew, we got there. And now we just eventually win with Goblins. Yeah, we got the GGs. Whoo! Taking out Boggles! Well, we saw the Goblin Prison, we saw our lock, and that's pretty much exactly what the deck wants to do. That's it. Sweet. All right, much Abrew about nothing time. We are Goblin Prisoning in Modern. So this hand, turn 1 Chieftain and nothing. That doesn't sound that appealing. This hand, it's a lot of Goblin Lords. We need lands, though. This is still sketchy. We don't have any lock pieces. I almost think we got to keep mulliganing. Like, we can land, play a Lord, but then we have to hope we hit 2 lands in a row to play another Lord. All right. Oh, dear. Well, now we can't be picky. Well, it's a Rabble Master. Let's just Cavern on Goblin. Well, come on, 4-card Rabble Master hand. The Lords are good as, like, secondary plays, but if we're just spending our entire hand to play a Lord, it's not all that good. Wooded Foothills for our opponent. Well, play Ramen on Bruins, exile Spirit Guide. This is all we could do. Just cross our fingers that our opponent has no removal, and maybe Rabs can go the whole way. Lightning Bolt, definitely a possibility. Opponent cracks. Stomping Grounds. All right, tapped. Well, Rab survives turn 1. Hit our opponent. Come on, Blood Moon. Blood Moon off the top. That would be spectacular. Blood Crypt. Untapped. And, ooh, it's Dredge. I see. Yup. Well, Explosive. Okay. Oh, no, there's an Narcomoeba. So Narcomoeba and Prized Amalgam are coming back. Well, we have ley lines in the sideboard, which is good. Honestly, if it wasn't for this Conflagrate in the graveyard, this hand would feel kind of good. Our 4-card hand is close, but this Conflagrate's going to ruin everything. Make a Goblin, attack with everything. Hit our opponent, down to 7, but they can just Conflagrate away our board here. And then we can't win. Wow. We were actually our opponent having one bad dredge away from just winning on 4 cards. We were that close. I mean, now we scoop, because there's no way we're going to find 7 more damage, but jeez. Well, I guess that shows the power of the deck. We were actually kind of close to winning with 4 cards. Yep, board gone. Opponent discards their hand. But now, I don't think there's any way we can assemble damage before we die. Man, we literally would have won on... Wow. We literally would have had the turn 4 kill with 4-card hand if our opponent hadn't managed to dredge a Conflagrate. I mean, that's kind of impressive. It doesn't count as a win, but it does show just like how crazy the draws of this deck can be. Because the odds of winning with Moldifor on a Moldifor are so little. It's like under 10%, like 7% or something. It's very small. Opponent loams back some lands. So what ways could we win? I think it's just top decking our second Goblin King. That's our one, like, maybe way of winning. If we top deck another Goblin King, opponent passes. Yeah, it's a Chancellor of the Tangle. That's not going to get it done. That's actually the worst draw. It is somehow worse than drawing just a land. All right, there's a Creeping Chill. And yeah, we're going to call it. With our opponent gaining this amount of life, yes, we're at 17, our opponent's at 7, but there's just no combination of draws in our deck that win from here. So, sideboarding. Leyline of the Void in. We will probably be aggressively mulliganing for Leyline of the Void. Chalice of the Void is not very good, because our opponent doesn't even need to resolve things to win the game. Abrade, no. Magus of the Moon, meh. Blood Moon is so-so. It's not... The value of Blood Moon is it protects things like Leyline of the Void, but on its own, it's not great. Trinisphere on turn 1 could be good. Maybe we go like 1 Trinisphere and go down 2 Blood Moons for Magus of the Moons. Something like this. On the play, a turn 1 Trinisphere is decent. But I guess our opponent can just discard the hand size and dredge. Alright, I mean, basically, we're mulliganing for Leyline. That's the bottom line. We get to play first. Well, hand's not great, but it's got a Leyline of the Void. And I guess we could draw a Ritual. If we draw a Ritual, so Chancellor of the Tangle revealed, Leyline on the battlefield. Add a mana. Play the land, and alright, let's get Cratering. Turn 1 Crater Maker, go. Now we actually wouldn't mind drawing a Blood Moon effect, just to make sure our opponent can't find like a Nature's Claim or something. Opponent passes. Well, play the Mountain. Opponent kept a 0-lander? Get him with Crate Maker. Pass the turn. Copperline Gorge. Shriekhorn. Come on! A Blood Moon off the top. Mountain. Well, play the Mountain. Run out Legion Warboss. Now we just got to try to close out the game quickly before our opponent finds a way to blow up Leyline. And Legion Warboss does help. Combat. Goblin. Hit our opponent. Down to 15. Pass the turn. Alright, opponent. What do you got? Scoops it up. Okay, we got there. Leyline. Janking about. Sideboard style. Whew, okay. Okay. Maybe we keep in a... Let's keep in a Blood Moon over Trinisphere. I think our game plan is literally mulligan for Leyline. I don't think we can beat this deck, so I think mulliganing all the way down to like 4 to have a Leyline is our basic game plan. Because I don't think we win without a Leyline. Like, this, for example, is a pretty good hand. We have turn 1 Rabble Master, and then potentially turn 2 Legion Warboss. Man, this hand would be great in so many matchups. This is like close to our ideal draw. The problem is, I literally don't know if we have any chance. Like, think of our draw. So turn 1, our opponent starts getting things in the graveyard. We Rabblemaster. Then they get free stuff from the graveyard. Then they conflagrate our board. Like, is having a fast clock, is that enough? We hit for 1 on turn 1. Then we hit for, like, I don't know, 6 or something on turn 2? Maybe more with Legion Warboss if we draw land. This is a tough one. It really is. Or are we just full-on mulligan to leyline stage? Opponent kept their hand. We're shipping it. This has turn 1 Blood Moon. Well, keep going. All right. To the bottom. No lands. Double A line. All right. Let's battle. Okay. Well, your graveyard's locked down. We can't do a dang thing, but you can't use your graveyard. Stomping Grounds. Tapped. All right. Pass the turn. Oh, man. If we don't draw lands, we're going to lose to ultra janky Dredge Beats. Mountain. Cathartic Reunion. Discard some graveyard stuff. Lands. We need lands. Chancellor. Worse than a dead card. Oh, magic. This deck. So seeing what our opponent discarded, I'm pretty sure we would have lost if we kept the turn 1 Rabblemaster hand. The beatdown plan is just not practical against Dredge. Against a lot of decks, that's like exactly what we'd be hoping for, but opponent cracks. Well, we need to start drawing a string of lands in a row. Opponent gets a tap land. Well, there's land number 1. All right, 2 more of those. 2 more. And we can actually try to fight a fair fight. Oh. Nature's Claim. Well, if they can kill both ley lines, then Faithless Looting. They do get to see a lot of cards. Mana Confluence. Hardcast Prized Amalgam. Land? More ley lines. All right, pass the turn. Oh no. We're going to lose to Prized Amalgam Beats. The other thing is our deck can't actually cast Leyline. So if we don't mulligan into it, we're off Graveyard Hate for the entire game. So it kind of really incentivizes us to try to mulligan into it. Man, look at how many dead cards our deck has. We've drawn, out of our last 3 turns, we've drawn 2 cards we just literally can never cast. Bloodghast. All right, opponents assembling the beatdowns. We need a land probably this turn. All right, there's a mountain. One more and we get to cast things. This also means rituals let us cast things, which at least is something. Stinky. Yep. Janky Dredge Beats. Opponent gets in, hits us. Come on, land. All right, there's a land. So play... Legion Warboss. Unfortunately, we just lose our token, but... Opponent blocks. Yep. Faithless Looting. Wow, discards Nature's Claim. That's scary. Opponent. Attacks. Leaves back Stinkweed. Okay. Down to 11. Opponent passes. Well, play Magus of the Moon. Oh, they found them all. All right. Well, now the Dredge plan is back on. Goblin, Suicides. Okay. Opponent's only got 1 card in hand. Opponent. Attacks. Oh boy. Okay. We take 6. Land. Conflagrates our Warboss. Well, play Ramadan Bruins. Play Goblin Chieftain. Go attacking. Hit our opponent to 12. Man, this is going to be close. Opponent. Going to get in. Hits us for 6. All right, hits us for 5. Okay. Untap. Rabblemaster is how much? Well, I guess it just gets blocked. So play Goblin King. Hit our opponent for 6. Oh, no. It doesn't give itself Mountain Walk. Huh. Opponent. Yeah, now we're dead. Attacks. Oh, no. Huh. Alright. We got a block, and now we lose. Cracks down to 8. Ugh. Well, I guess we would have lost anyway. But that is going to come across like a punt on the video. Yeah, alright. So, that punt didn't actually change things. We were dead. We were dead regardless. Well, worth keeping in mind. It does not give itself Mountain Walk, but yeah, that does it anyway. Well, that was a weird game. One of the weirder games we've played. We kept a 0-land double leyline hand. Our opponent managed to find double Nature's Claim. And we came close to winning. Jeez. Interesting game. All right, much Abrew about nothing time. We are playing some Goblin Prison in Modern. And, yeah, we'll see how it goes. See what our hand looks like. Well, we're on the draw, but we got turn 1 Blood Moon. And sometimes that's enough. All right, opponent, what are you up to? Something that scoops to Blood Moon, please. Please. Oh, that's what we need. That's what we need. Opponent's thinking things over. Ooh, all right. This kind of scoops to Blood Moon. Opponent passes. Well, Simian Spirit Guide, Mountain. And actually, let's just Chalice on 1. Chalice on 1. Next turn we can Blood Moon, and then hopefully the following turn we can Chalice again. Alright, well, Spirit Guide, Paretic Ritual, Blood Moon. We do need to get down a threat, though. We really need a threat. There's Oblivion Stone. That is a problem. Opponent passes. Well, play the land, Simian Spirit Guide. Get in with Chieftain. Opponent's going to have all the lands they need. Well, get in with Chieftain. And yup. Well, you can see the problem with Blood Moon versus Tron. And that is, if your clock isn't fast enough, they still just beat you. Well, get in with Chieftain. Yeah, so now our opponent just gets to blow everything up. And then follow that up by playing like a Karn or something, and the game's over. Oblivion Stone. Yup. Yup. Ancient Stirrings. For Ballista. Chromatic Sphere. Cracks Chromatic Sphere. Ugin. And yep, that does it. Well, Goblin Prison. Maybe this deck is just... I have found myself wishing we were playing Free Win Red a lot as we've been playing Goblin Prison. Like, it's starting to feel to me like bad Free Win Red. So we can bring in more Blood Moons, go down a Goblin King, go down Krenko, go down Chandra's. Yeah, try it like that. So we need the Blood Moon, but we also need a fast clock. All right, we get to play first. All right, I mean, we will keep this. We have a turn 1 Legion War Boss. We don't have a Blood Moon to back it up, unfortunately. So reveal Chancellor of the Tangle. We get a mana. Play Ramadan Ruins. Play Pyretic Ritual. Legion War Boss. And start the beatdown. This is where if... Wow! Opponent scoops it up to turn 1 War Boss. That's just... Okay. Well, apparently turn 1 War Boss good against Tron. We learned. Ha. 1, 2. This hand is so close to being good. If we draw a land, we have turn 1 Blood Moon. Chancellor, Gemstones, Exile Chancellor. But we need to draw a land for that to work. And then we need to draw another land for Chieftain. We don't really have a fast clock. I think we got to ship this one. All right. I mean, we don't have the Blood Moon. And now we kind of do. Well, Magus of the Moon on top. Gemstone Caverns. Get rid of Legion War Boss. Urza's Tower for our opponent. Chromatic Star. Well, Mountain. Simian Spirit Guide. Rabble Master. This is a little bit greedy. We need to draw one more land to get down this Magus of the Moon. Or any of our rituals. Opponent. If we do, we have exactly what we want. Opponent cracks. Green. Ugh, Spatial Contortion. Alright, deck. Give us a... Well... Chalice on 1 isn't bad. It does shut down a lot of their cantrips. Get in with our Goblin. We still need the Mountain to shut off Tron. Ooh, opponent. Passing? Passing. Well, get in with our Goblin. Play Crate Maker. Oh, man, come on. Give us that lad. Give us that lad for Vegas. Opponent. Scrying. Oh, man. We need it soon. Mine. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. All right, there's the Mountain. So that means we get to get down Magus of the Moon. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. And we have Oblivion Stone covered with Crater Maker. Oblivion Stone. Yup. Opponent passes. Well, go to combat. Attack. Play Crater Maker. Play the Mountain. Pass the turn. If our opponent makes a land drop, we'll blow up. And our opponent scoops it up! We got there! Oh, man. We saw it. Oh, this was such a perfect match. We saw the problem with Blood Moon in game 1, where you can get the Blood Moon down, but without a clock, it doesn't work. But then we saw exactly how Blood Moon is good against Tron, where if you could get that Blood Moon and kind of go on like the tempo Blood Moon plan, where you're also attacking, it is extremely good, and we pick up the win! Goblin Prison, take it down, Tron. Whew. I don't know how our record's going to be overall, but at least we would have beat Tron. Sweet. All right. Much Abrew about nothing time. We are playing some Goblin Prison in Modern. And I mean, this is about what our hands look like. So we have turn 2 Chalice, turn 3 Goblin, turn 4 Goblin. Not the nuttiest start, but opponent. Faithless Looting. So... maybe Mardu Pyromancer? Playing the nice new shock lands. Opponent. Really thinking over their looting. Pact of Negation, Heart of Kieran. Huh. Okay. Mountain Go. Plains for our opponent. Heart of Kieran. We draw a Spirit Guide. So I'm assuming this is a Gideon Chance for Glory deck. Well, I think our plan is Chalice on 0, since we saw a pack already. Play the Mountain, Exile Spirit Guide, Desperate Ritual, Chandra, take up Chandra, pass the turn. Well, hopefully our opponent does not follow this up with a Gideon. Marsh Flats, cracks it. Feels like a Gideon. It's a Gideon. Takes up on Chandra. Cruise. Hits Chandra. Yep. This also turns on Chance for Glory. Ooh, Crate Maker. I'll play Ramanan Bruins. Take up Chandra. Hit our opponent. Actually doesn't work. I guess we should have just added mana. I guess we didn't really want to draw Spirit Guide. Play Crate Maker. Pass the turn. Chance for Glory would be brutal here. Marsh Flats. Opponent is probably playing Blood Moons as well, which means our Blood Moons aren't as good. We can't really do anything about Chance for Glory. Yeah, we just gotta hope they don't have it. If we blow up the heart there, then they just kill Chandra. Fires up Gideon. Man, if they also have Chance for Glory, that's really bad. Opponent. Attacks. Attacks. Well, I mean, block. No Chance for Glory one time. Alright. They have it. And yeah, that does it. Yikes. Cracks. Sacred Foundry. Emblems. Cruise. Opponent. Gets in with Hardikirin. Yup. Down to 16. Looting. No losing in the game. Well, play Gemstone Cavern. Play Legion War Boss. Go to combat, get a 1-1. Attack Gideon. Wow, cruise it up. They must just have more Gideons in hand. Yep. Opponent blocks. More Gideons. Well, Chance for Glory is looking good here. Against the odds, making its presence felt. And yeah, I think this one's pretty over. Down to 12. Mountain. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, there's no beating our opponent from here, and we will scoop it up. Huh. We've run into some interesting matchups. How in the world do we try to beat this deck? Their mana base seems designed to be good against Blood Moon. I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually playing Blood Moon. We don't really have an answer for Chance of Glory. Chalice of the Void seems relevant. Trinisphere, so-so. Sulfur Elemental, not really. Their creatures are bigger than X ones. They probably also have Wraths. Huh. Ha ha ha. Weird matchup, but probably not a good one. Well, we got to go down Blood Moons because they don't do anything. I guess we go up the Sulfur Elementals. And then Goblin Chieftain. And probably Goblin King as well. Maybe we go down one Chancellor. Yeah. Try it like that. Not super confident in this matchup, but... Alright, we get to play first. Well, we got a turn 1 Legion War Boss, and we're going to take advantage of it. So Mountain, Exile Spirit Guide, Desperate Ritual, Legion War Boss. Start getting in that damage. I mean, maybe we can just be aggressive enough. If we draw another Ritual, we get to follow it up with the Goblin Lord next turn. Opponent down to 19. Marsh Flats. Opponent passes. Come on, Ritual. Oh, they have removal? Yeah, it looks like our opponent's playing Path to kill our War Boss. Sacred Foundry, untapped. And pass our War Boss. Well, that's a land out of our deck. Play a Mountain, get in for 1. Pass the turn. Sacred Foundry. Untapped. Core Firewalker. Okay. We don't really have an answer for that. Well, play Gemstone Cavern. Play Goblin King. Opponent gains some life. But we get to start mountain walking over for damage. Hit our opponent. Down to 12. Marsh Flats. Opponent cracks it. Plains. And there's a Gideon. Alright. Ticks up. Opponent passes. I mean, if they got a Wrath, we can't really beat it. Let's Chieftain. Opponent gains a life. Attack Gideon. Play Ramanant Bruins, pass the turn. Alright, opponent. Veteran Motorist. Well, there is some spice going on, that's for sure. Opponent gets to go scrying. 2 cards to the bottom. Fires up Gideon, going aggro. Okay. Ether Hub gets an energy. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we take it. Yep. Down to 14. Well, play a Goblin King. Kill Gideon. Attack our opponent. Actually, you know what? Let's try to kill our opponent. Attack our opponent. Attack our opponent. Attack our opponent. Attack our opponent. Alright. You got an answer? There are blowouts that can happen. Okay. Goblins get it done. Draw enough lords and apparently just be fast enough and we can pick up the win. Alright. Alright, alright. Maybe we should stick with Blood Moons. Let's go down the Chancellors. Let's go back up a couple Blood Moons. Try it like that. Alright. 1 mana, 1 ritual. I think this is too risky. We gotta mulligan it. Ugh. This doesn't work either. 2 Gemstone Caverns. And going to 5. Alright. Mountain to the bottom. Okay. Inspiring Vantage for our opponent. Faithless Looting. Opponent. Loots away some lands. Passes. More Chalices. I don't think Chalice is very good. I mean, it can protect our goblins from removal, but that's about it. Opponent passes. Well, play Ramen Bruins. Chalice on 1. Pass the turn. Mars Flats. Cracks it. Plains. There's the Gideon. Emblems. Well. Spirit Guide. Chieftain. Attack Gideon. Pass the turn. Opponent. Takes up on Chieftain. Plays a land. Veteran Motorist to do some scrying. 2 cards to the bottom. Opponent passing. Mountain, eh? Well, play the Mountain. Chalice on 0. Pass the turn. Yeah, no attacks. Opponent. Rugged Prairie. Fires up Gideon. Hits us for 6. This means they also have a follow-up. Probably another Gideon. Opponent tapping, untapping, tapping. Or they have Chance for Glory. Man. Yeah, we can't punish them for that. We can't kill the Gideon. Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool to see Chance for Glory kind of becoming a real card in Modern. Obviously, like, not a staple, but it is a card that people are actually playing. Opponent hits us with Veteran Motorist. Down to 10. Oh, man. Being able to kill that Gideon would be so good. Well, let's Desperate Ritual. Chandra. Take up Chandra. We can't kill Veteran Motorist. Hit our opponent to 17. Chandra's been a bit neutered. Now that it can't hit Planeswalkers. In the old days, Chandra would be a good way to get rid of these Gideons, but not anymore. Not anymore. Still not sure we can win from here. Like, how do we... how do we beat anything that's happening? Fires up a Gideon. Like, what outs do we have? Attack Chandra. Attack Chandra. Alright. I mean, I guess it's like Goblin Rabblemaster into Mountain Walk. Another Chalice. Yeah, we needed like Goblin Rabblemaster into Mountain Walk. Goblin. Well, get in it, Gideon. Pass the turn. But now, we needed it that turn. We needed a way to get the Gideon off the battle that exact turn. Opponent gets in. Well, I mean, if this is our opponent's plan, a Goblin here, Ramen Ruins. Ramen Ruins can't hit Planeswalkers anymore either. Alright, play Ramen Ruins, pass the turn.
I'm trying very hard to not scoop early. Opponent fires up Gideon. But yeah, now we have to chump block, and then we lose our haste. And now, yeah, there's nothing in our deck that... Well, alright. We'll block the Gideon. I don't think there's any relevant cards in our deck, though. Down to 4. War Boss makes a 1/1, pings Gideon. We chump with War Boss. I mean, I guess we're not technically dead this turn. Play War Boss, make a 1/1. 1/1 attacks Gideon. Well, Chance for Glory doing good is cool. Goblin Prison, on the other hand, it does cool things some small percentage of the time. Opponent. Chain Whirler, and that officially ends the game. All right. Yeah, that was a rough one. Well, Chance for Glory becoming real. This is a weird, janky shell of it, but kind of worked against us. All right. Much Abrew about nothing time. We are playing some Goblin, Prison, and 0 lands. Not going to do it. Well, okay. Rabble Master to the bottom. We need lands. Reveal Chancellor, reveal Chancellor. This hand does not have many cards, but it does have a turn 1 Blood Moon or a Legion War Boss, depending on the scenario. Opponent cracks. Temple Garden, untapped. Birds. Well, that lets our opponent play through Blood Moon, at least somewhat. Land, please? Alright, so we get 2 extra mana. I think we're still going to Blood Moon. Let's Blood Moon. The birds is annoying, and our hand is empty-ish. But hopefully this keeps our opponent from doing stuff. Godless Shrine. Ugh, the nightmare. We don't really have ways of killing creatures, unfortunately. Play Gemstone Cavern, pass the turn. So we can start playing Goblins next turn, but our opponent's functioning pretty well through our Blood Moon here. Oh boy. Blood Moon, not doing much anything. Oh dear, that's game. That is literal game. Play Ramadant Ruins. Yeah, that does it. Play Goblin King. Pass the turn. Well, sometimes turn 1 Blood Moon not enough. We were on the draw. If we were on the play, we probably would have won this game with turn 1 Blood Moon. Wow, opponent doing a good job of drawing basics in their 3-color deck. Blood Moon, this has been one of the worst I've ever seen Blood Moon. Duskwatch Recruiter. Kitchen Finks. Okay. Yeah, this one's over. We don't have sweepers or anything, so yeah. Well, Blood Moon not a problem for our opponent in this one. Alright. Well, we get to bring in a couple of braids. Those are good. Sulfur Elemental. This Sulfur Elemental has not been good in any of our matchups, honestly. We haven't found a single one where it's been like, oh, that's so good. Chalice locks out Mana Dorks, but I mean, locking out Mana Dorks does make the Blood Moons better, but our opponent drew a lot of lands. Let's go down a couple Chalices. I mean, I guess we just try it like this? Yeah, try it like this. We don't really have answers for our opponent's big things. If they get down an Archangel, we're just pretty much done for. Alright, we get to play first. And, alright. I mean, we got a turn 2 Rabble Master. We don't have any Blood Moons, but play a Mountain, pass the turn. Opponent. Windswept Heath. Cracks it. Opponent's probably going to play around, yeah, Blood Moons anyway. Birds of Paradise. And passes. I'll play a Mountain. Maybe we just wait. Let's Desperate Ritual. Crate Maker. I think we're just going to very inefficiently bolt the birds. Kill the birds. Pass the turn. Marsh Flats for our opponent. Swamp. Definitely playing around the Blood Moons. Devoted Druid. I'll play a Mountain and Rabble Master, but we don't got much action left. Get a 1/1. Attack with it. Opponent blocks. Opponent kills our Rabble Master. Jeez. Now we got literal nothing going on. Well, come on, like Chandra or something. Opponent's got all the Mana Dorks. Alright. We don't have sweepers either. More lands. One card that could make this deck a lot more consistent is Faithless Looting. Although, the problem is Chalice often goes on 1. Well, if our opponent could like play an Angel here, that's kind of just game. Core Firewalker is not Angel, but is pretty close to just game. Verdant Catacombs. Spike Feeder. Yeah, opponent's going to have infinite life here if they can find Angel. Opponent passes. Well, we've had some sad Blood Moons in this matchup. The saddest of Blood Moons. Oh, God. Opponent. For being a 3-color deck, our opponent's deck is really good at playing around Blood Moon. Play Gemstone Cavern, pass the turn. I don't even know if our opponent needs a combo, honestly. They can probably just win by beating us down with the janky creatures. Temple Garden. Opponent. Gets it. Yep. Exalted. Sure, down to 17. And passes. Well, we get a Chandra. Play Chandra. I mean, I guess we just have to kill Spike Feeder. We lose the Chandra, unfortunately, but Spike Feeder is an infinite combo piece. Yeah. Ooh. All right, gonna move the counters. I don't think we can beat a 4/4 Core Firewalker. Man, I miss Ensnaring Bridge in a prison deck. Opponent. Gonna go attacking. Down to Chandra down. Plays a land. Well, pass the turn. Well, I guess we get in for 1. We can't block anyway. Might as well send the message. Opponent. Gets in for 5. Down to 12. More Devoted Druids. Krenko's sweet, but we can't stop a Core Firewalker. I don't think there's any way we can kill our opponent before Core Firewalker kills us. Not enough Goblins to go wide enough. Because this is like 3 turns. Firewalker hits us down to 7. Passes. Well, let's activate Krenko to send a message. Look at our 1/1s, world. Yeah, this one's over. We don't have any cards in our deck that stop this Core Firewalker. Opponent hits us. Yeah. Down to 2. And passes. Man. Goblin King. We were actually kind of close. Because look at all the goblins we could make. We can hit for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we can also make a bunch more goblins. But it's just a little bit too late. If we had haste, maybe. Yep. And they got us. Core Firewalker. Good against red things. It's a combo. All right. Goblin Prison. Well, we finished with a 2-3. Not feeding the kids. No treasure chest today, but that's something to talk about in the wrap-up. So what do we learn this week about Goblin Prison in Modern? And overall, we finished with a 2-3 in our league, which, I mean, not a horrible record, but not a great record. And it was really kind of a good news, bad news type situation. So the good news is there's a couple of pieces of good news. One is the 2 decks that we managed to beat were Tron and Boggles. And if we're going to lose a lot, the 2 decks I want to beat the most are Tron and Boggles, because those decks just annoy me. And it makes me really happy to beat those. So we beat some decks that I really like beating. The other good news is we did see the explosive potential of this deck. The ability to drop a lock piece on turn 1 or turn 2, follow that up with an incredibly quick clock. Our Goblin Lords were pretty sweet. So we saw the power level of the deck. On the other hand, we also saw the bad news of the deck, which is also kind of twofold, I guess. So bad news number 1 is the deck can be pretty inconsistent. We have, apart from 2 copies of Chandra, no card advantage, no card filtering. So we're kind of at the mercy of just having that good opening hand. And when we have like Spirit Guide, Ritual, Blood Moon, Rabble Master, and some lands, that is wonderful and everything's going great. On the other hand, we get some really clunky hands where we draw too many lands or we just don't get the right pieces in the right order. And then we just kind of lose to ourselves. We had our last game that we lost. We kind of just drew a bunch of lands and drew a bunch of rituals and didn't really do anything. Also, Chancellor of the Tangle. This is the second Chancellor of the Tangle deck we've played as like an additional Simian Spirit Guide deck. We played it a long time ago in this Gruul deck, and every time we play it, I end up disappointed with it. We saw some sweet things. Like, we had a game or two where we had like 2 Chancellor of the Tangles and got to play a Blood Moon on turn 1, and it was great. But a lot of times, it's just so bad off the top. It's worse than a literal land as a top deck because we can never cast it or do anything with it. So unlike Simian Spirit Guide, which if you draw it later in the game, it's not an exciting card, but still, I mean, it's a 2/3 for 3. You can chump block with it, maybe attack with it, maybe add extra mana with it. Chancellor of the Tangle is just literally the deadest of the, like, I can't even describe how dead of a dead draw Chancellor of the Tangle is. So that's a little bit frustrating. The other thing we ran into is if we don't get a really crazy start, we can really struggle with opposing creature decks because we are playing all these goblins. Unlike a deck like Freewind Red, we don't have Ensnaring Bridge, we don't have Anger of the Gods, we don't even really have any removal spells. So we ran into some trouble where our opponent, if we can't like Blood Moon lock them or Chalice lock them early in the game, they can play some creatures, and once they get creatures, our goblins get a lot worse. Like our 1/1 tokens from Warboss and Goblin Rabblemaster just kind of suicide themselves into blockers and so forth, and because we don't have any removal, our opponent can just play like 1 Gurmag Angler or 1 big Boggle Threat or 1 anything that's somewhat big, and it's really hard for our deck to come back from that because we're just so all in and being quick. So I think the trick to the deck, to make it be as successful as possible, I think we kind of did this in the videos, is you really got to mulligan aggressively for nut draws, because that's what the deck is trying to do. It is really trying to have this explosive, unbeatable start where it doesn't win the game by turn 3, but it essentially swings the game so far in our favor by turn 3 that it's going to be really hard for our opponent to win, even if it takes a couple of extra turns to actually close out the game. So I feel like it's a very inconsistent deck, and after playing it for a while, it's sweet, but I really think if you want to play goblins, play 8-Whack, play a more traditional Goblin style deck. If you want to play Prison, you can still play Rabblemaster, but probably play the Ensnaring Bridges and the Hazarats and the Koss and go like a more traditional Freewind Red, Mono Red Prison plan. The combination of Prison and Goblins, while we had some absurd starts in really powerful games, it felt like overall it just wasn't consistent enough to really be a super competitive deck in the format. So I could certainly imagine 5-0ing a league with this deck or something if you just get 5 good draws in a row and you get the right matchups. On the other hand, I could certainly imagine 0-5ing with this deck if you don't get the right draws and you're playing the wrong matchup. So very inconsistent, which is going to make it hard to be your primary modern deck because you're just going to have some really bad runs and really good runs. But anyway, the deck is sweet. It was fun to Blood Moon people, although like I said, probably better off leaving goblins in Goblin Tribal / 8-Whack, leaving Prison in a more Prison-y style deck that can deal with creatures, and not mashing them together if you want to win tournaments. So anyway, that's been our Much Abrew for this week. Goblin Prison for Modern. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.